Hey, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? You ready to talk about Leagues Cup and maybe what's wrong with it? I don't know. But lots of fun things to talk about tonight. As always, you guys are a big part of the show. So make sure you jump into the chat and get active. And of course, you can always leave voicemails as well. I'll throw up the phone number on here, whatever, in just a second. But hope everybody's doing all right. And it looks like we get to figure out, as for the last, I don't know, month, 2 months, whatever it is, we are always curious. Where in the world is Uncle Ed? So let's find out where in the world is Uncle Ed. Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Peter Brown, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh man, as you can see behind me, there's still boxes and stuff. I was moving again, so that's I was trying to get home, but by golly, I couldn't make it.
Oh, all right. Hang on a second. I want to.
Yep, that's not me. That's just the number
I
one.
want to get a better picture of those boxes.
There's boxes behind me.
I see it. I see it now. Ed's always on the move. Always on the move, right?
Literally, yeah. Well, I think a call is behind us now. I was hoping the kids move back to Miami, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
That is true. That is true.
There wasn't nothing much to do in Ocala except like tip cows and that's about it.
Wait a minute. Wait. So the daughter that lives in Ocala is moving back. That means you don't have to move to Ocala, because it was looking like
it looked like I was gonna end up moving over there, Peter. But nope, it ain't gonna happen. Everybody could rest assured. There's plenty of Uncle Ed for Inter Miami for a while now. Not becoming like Peter, a closet Orlando City fan. So don't worry, kids.
No, not Orlando City fan, but I probably will end up living up there at some point. Got to live near Disney. Got to live near Disney at some point. Got to retire up there probably.
And you got to tell me some stuff about Disney. I think after we talk about Inter Miami, we'll get into that.
Yeah. So, we're going to say hello to our sponsors in just a second, but it's been a challenge for me yesterday and today to stay focused on Inter Miami and Leagues Cup and what's going on, because D23 happened. And if you know anything about D23, it's basically Comic-Con for Disney fans. And so lots of big news came out, and that's where, and man, you think soccer fans are finicky and, whiny and just toxic sometimes on social media? You ain't heard nothing until you heard some Disney fans. They are super toxic at times. But before we go too far on all those things, and we'll stick mostly on soccer tonight, but you never know where the show may go. Anyways, let's say a big thank you to Caneswear. Caneswear is where you can get all your messy gear. They're the messiest wall in all of South Florida. That wall is probably even messier than the one at the stadium. So you can get all your messy gear and other, team gear as well. Got a great selection of hats. That's where I get all my hats. And so go to Caneswear. They are located in Davie, Florida, just south of 595 on University Drive. If that's too far for you to go to Caneswear.com. All orders over $99 ship for free.
Peter Brown, and don't forget, ladies and gents, if you want to, invest in South Florida, if you want to sell your property, your business, the person to go to is Mia Rodrigues. She's the goat of all realtors in South Florida. She's the Misty of realtors. Contact Mia Rodrigues. She speaks 3 languages. You can send her a WhatsApp message. And if you want to be famous, you too can be on her show, The American Dream. And if you like I said, you want to sell your business or something, you might be able to do it on her show. So become famous, make a lot of money while you're at it, and contact Mia Rodrigues. There you go.
All right. Sounds good. Also, if you want to give us a call, we got 3 calls so far. It looks like you want to give us a call, 786-474-4435. Let's say hello to those of you in the chat that have been waiting. And one of these phone calls is, I think, from this man right here, T.O. Lewis, from the Windy City of Chicago. Welcome. Kata is here as well. What's up, guys? And COVID free. Oh, good job. I'm glad you're COVID free. Got through all that. B King is here. We'll go back to his comment in just a minute. Pablo Golasso is here. I like the graphic. I'm calling it Bored Man Sits with Hot Chick. The thumbnail with Messi is on the thumbnail with his wife. So bored.
It is kind of true. Before you keep going, he does look like he's bored. I mean, every time they put the camera on him, it looks like he's bored, out of his brains.
He'd rather be playing.
Just sitting there.
Well, I saw during watching the game on TV, I did see his wife quite a bit on her cell phone. So in that one shot, she looked like she was paying attention. But I saw that she really wasn't paying all that much attention either. Francisco Garcia is here from Bogota. Nice. I was just in Medellin, like a week and a half ago. I was in Medellin. Patrick Barnhill is here.
Good old Patrick.
The best photographer in South Florida, Chris Arjun. And always here. One World, One Goal. Congratulations to USA. They win gold. I did not watch it, though. And Louis Rodrigues is here as well.
All right.
So to start off with, I was, the reason, so a lot of times when I come up with the topic, the idea for the show, sometimes we don't even talk about it. We just go off the rail. But a lot of times I don't even talk to Ed about what it's going to be. I just kind of think of a thumbnail, and I don't know if Ed is on board with what I'm thinking or not. Sometimes I ask for help but this was one where as I'm, reading about Leagues Cup, as I'm watching games, as I made a decision about the last Leagues Cup game, I started to question what's wrong with Leagues Cup. Here we're winning. I'm watching the game, amazing game, exciting, wacky game, right? And on pins and needles throughout the game, but the stadium's empty, and that's happening across the league. And so I was thinking, and what's wrong with Leagues Cup? So to give you a little more, background, and I want to get your thoughts in the chat or voicemail, but just to give you an idea, Inter Miami gave away tickets to all their season ticket holders. Now, I didn't know. I just happened to look, and I found them in there, and I think then I made a comment, and Ned goes, well, let me look, right? And so I had 2 free tickets to Leagues Cup. Now, this wasn't planned. This is clearly because they're not selling. The Leagues Cup tickets have not been selling well, and so, they offered them up for free. And I still chose not to go. And if I choose not to go, and I'm a pretty diehard, right? I don't miss games, right? Ed,
that's
sometimes
like the second game you've missed, I think
maybe ever. I don't know.
Yeah,
and so we can get into those reasons, and for Ed, it's a weeknight, so he you work, right? But Ed, had you not worked, would you have gone?
Yeah, I think I would have. But I had to work, so I had to give my tickets away. I don't think you had enough time to give yours away. But I think Julio also said he gave his away. But obviously there wasn't enough people to give tickets away because only 10,000 showed up.
Right. And B King is mentioning that he let us know that there was and B King's always really good about letting us know about things. That he said it was entertaining. He went for free as a season ticket member. That he mentioned to me. They should have included these games from the beginning, and that's part of the issue. There is I didn't know they were in my available to me until like what, the day before or the day of. I think it might have been the day of.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I checked I think it was in the morning. Was it in the morning? I don't remember anymore. But yeah, I didn't have enough time, so I was able to scramble and give it to somebody because I wasn't able to make it. But yeah, nobody told us. Probably happened to a lot of people.
Right. And so, you kind of make a plans accordingly, right? So my wife had plans for the car, and we're a one car family these days since we both work from home. There's really no reason to have two car payments. It's just, why throw away money? But there are occasions where a decision has to be made. Now she was cool where she would have changed her plans, and she was going to go with me, and I was thinking about it. And so there's a bigger issue. Speaking of Inter Miami, there's a couple of bigger issues. Not for me. One issue for a lot of people is no Messi. No Messi, no go, right? That's not a situation. That's not an issue for you and me. We're going to go no matter what, right? We don't care if Messi's playing. I mean, we care, but I mean, it won't determine whether or not I'm going or not, right?
Right. But for a lot of people, it does. They have to. If Messi's not there, and it's obvious, if Messi would have been there, I think the stadium would have been packed. But it's crazy because we have Busquets, Jordi Alba, who's playing like
Lights
a
out.
monster. Dude, we've got Luis Suarez. I mean, all incredible players that any team in the world would want to have, and yet it's not enough.
Well, we always knew that South Florida is a tough sports market. It's tough, but and there's so much hatred amongst fans here too. It's like there's Messi fans I'm reading online, and there's Messi fans that are Miami fans right now that are like talking crap about Inter Miami. It's like, wait a minute, isn't that your team for now, at least while Messi's here? But you still talk crap about us because it's like, you're not a team without Messi. Blah 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 blah. But there, to me, there was a bigger issue. And I think some of this goes across the entire league, and that the term cash grab. The ticket was free. Great. Parking is $50. Right? Now, we are season ticket holders, so therefore we did get a discount off option. So it's still $35 with the discount. In my opinion, $35 is still too high. But it is what it is, right? And then so now I'm at $35, right? And then I'm gonna get one or two beers, and they're like what, $18? I think when you tip and everything all done.
Peter Brown, an arm in the leg. That's right. Like for a lot of people, that are that's like a 1 hour of work for a lot of people, and some people not even that.
So I would have a drink or two, and then my wife would have probably a bottle of water. So, we're probably around $50 there, plus the 35, we're probably $85. If you choose to get some food, and I know you don't have to buy alcohol. You don't have to buy water, but I'm going to. So all in, I was like, this was not a night I expected to have to kind of pay an additional $85 to $100. And that's what it would have been. So it would have been like an $85 to $100 night on free tickets. And so things are just so expensive. And it's like, if you want to give away free tickets, Inter Miami, and want to fill that stadium, why don't you also, and I'm talking rewarding your season ticket holders. So for those of you that aren't season ticket holders, I might sound like an entitled snob. I don't know. But give us free parking for that one game. You want to show that you love us. You want us to fill the stadium. Give us free parking along with a free ticket. You gave the free ticket. Great. Thank you. You could have even bought, I saw reports of, you could have gone on these resale sites, $4 for tickets.
Wow.
I know the guys at Battered Herons, our friends over at Battered Herons, were trying to they were collecting tickets and then giving them away. And I think they gave away like 10 tickets or whatever, but I don't think they could give away all their tickets either. So, you know, it's an interesting, and you know, this is across the league too, because you keep hearing people just saying cash grab. This is when MLS is trying to because you know, Leagues Cup thing is expensive all over the place.
Yeah, and it's kind of tough, Peter, because all right, if you're not playing a Mexican team, chances are a lot of these teams are not gonna fill that stadium. And when lately, it's just been anything during the week. People, they're working, and it's just not that attractive. I'm sure. I guess MLS will say, hey, it's more. These games are more attractive than the U.S. Open Cup. That's probably why they don't want to play the U.S. Open Cup against smaller teams. But that's when you get the smaller teams to host the games. But anyways, let's not talk about U.S. Open.
Well,
Leagues
we
Cup
got to
so
hang
far.
on. I think we need to talk a little bit about that. Battered Herons in the chat saying they gave away 12 tickets, but then they couldn't. Ticketmaster blocked them from transferring any more. Okay, they gave away. I'm curious if all 12 people went and had a good time and all that. But great job, Battered Herons. And you know, it was like I said, for me it came down to, you know, I didn't want to spend an extra $100, right? On a day that I wasn't planning on it. You know, I'm a bit of a budgety kind of person, right? So, and you did say something that seems to be somewhat accurate in that when MLS teams are playing Mexican teams, the attendance is better. I think it's somewhere I saw somewhere maybe around 15,000 a lot of the time. Still not sold out stadiums. So I pulled up from ESPN. Now ESPN wasn't completely right last week, but they seem to be slow on updating, but they still do have the lowest attendance so far was on July 31st, Santos versus DC United. Mexican team versus MLS team. Should be a good crowd. 1,020 people.
Wow. That's nuts.
And MLS did want to make claims that, you know, people don't support Open Cup. There's not. Now, MLS is probably still making money off this tournament. I was reading a chat from Alexi Lawless, and he's saying this tournament is way better for MLS than US Open Cup, financially speaking. And it's probably a lot of that probably has to do with the sponsorships. And they did have over 50,000 people in San Jose for the Guadalajara game. So, I mean, that kind of brings the numbers up and stuff. But let's see what... Oops, where's my mouse? I've got a 3-screen monitor set up here going on net, Ed.
Wow, look at you. Show
I know.
off.
Well, here's the thing. My
Uncle
company...
in the car.
Yeah, and you're in the car. I got a command center here. My company is closing their Sunrise office because we're going to be fully remote, and they were basically giving away monitors. So I drove to the office. I picked up 2 monitors. They were like $1 a piece.
Wow.
So a new Weissman from Atlanta, and Atlanta has not been supporting. And you did mention Open Cup. There is a boycott based off of Open Cup, but that has no impact on Inter Miami. Nobody seemed to care about Open Cup here before, you know, except for that one game against Miami FC. What was it, last year? It was a really good crowd. But Anu is saying that I guess the boycott and lack of Messi is causing disinterest. So the boycott definitely may play an impact in some cities. And it does also seem like the West Coast is doing better than the East Coast. Don't know why.
I guess more Mexicans are in the West Coast.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Kata is saying here in the chat, some of these are old chats, but I saved them. Can't build a team just on one guy. Wrong way to market a team. I'd say this is more than just the way a team is marketing. It's also just the league marketing the entire tournament around one guy. So the tournament looked so successful last year because one guy came in and made the difference. And then they think it's going to be a repeat.
And I said, and he won it. So you know, that's one of the things. Oh, I like what Kata says. Pitbull Stadium now, Peter Brown, for Miami FC.
Yeah, there is a Pitbull Stadium. Yeah, there. I thought that's a weird name, Pitbull Stadium.
Well, a lot of people may not know, Peter. Miami FC is playing, or I don't know if they're going to keep playing at FIU Stadium, which was called
Ricardo Silva.
What's the
Ricardo Silva Stadium?
Was called, because now it's called Pitbull Stadium for the singer.
Yeah, sponsorship deals change. Yeah, sponsorship deal ended and all that.
So now Pitbull's the dude, and so we don't know if Miami FC is going to continue playing there. But yeah, it's Pitbull Stadium, and you know, that's the new stadium.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you did say what does that mean for Inter Miami? I'm sorry, for Miami FC. They've won 2 games this year. 2. They are pitiful.
Those.
They are. There you go. There you go, Ed. I don't know. So
all I did was this, Peter.
I know. I saw it. Oh, there it goes. There we
go. That didn't work last time.
Yeah, it's off to the side. It looks like getting cut off. Francisco Garcia is asking, is the main source of income in MLS the tickets, or is the TV income more important? It's tickets. Majority of their money comes from butts in seats, people walking through the doors, paying the $50 to park, for example. So, and you know, their TV deal is a good TV deal. They're making a lot of money, but they have to spend the money to produce all the shows that they do. And that's probably why some of the content is lacking. There was talk off topic, when they launched Apple TV, they had said they made a deal with, I think it was called Box or something. There was the production company that did this F1 Netflix special series that people seem to like. I didn't watch it. I'm sure One World, One Goal is familiar with it. But the MLS had made a deal with that production company, and they were going to produce documentary type things, one for each team. And the only thing we saw was there was one about Messi winning the League's Cup, and then there was one about Messi in Argentina. But there's a lack of content, a lack of content in there. But back to League's Cup, Ed. Could the problem be, and somebody mentioned this in the chat, and here it is, Francisco asking the question, maybe Copa America and Euro depression, saturation, add in Olympics. Is there just too much going on this summer? Now, the summer is always, in MLS, it gets soft, right? The attendance softens during the summer, period.
Does there be vacation? So there's other things to do.
But is it just too much? People have I just committed watching to Copa America or the Euros, and now I'm into watching the Olympics, and I just don't want to go. Is it whereas I'm the opposite. And granted, I didn't go to the game, but I was talking to my uncle yesterday, and he was coming to me to talk about the women's Olympic team, and I was like, I got to be honest, I haven't watched. I've seen a little bit here and there, but I just haven't watched. I said I'm watching all the League's Cup games, because I'm watching games that aren't even in Miami. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it on TV at least, but I think I'm the rarity in that case. But so
let's talk about League's Cup, Peter. We've been going off topic, but this past game, I was at work. I was able to take a break and watch one of the halves, and on and off this second half. But I was surprised, and when I caught it a little bit late, but I did get to see. Inter Miami was up
Mhm.
2 goals, and I was pretty happy. And then I was starting to think maybe it was me because the other team started scoring, and I was like, oh man. And then the red card, and it just I was just like, oh, this doesn't look good. Toronto's starting to play a little bit better. Their Italians are starting to cooperate a little bit, but we got lucky because Toronto is just one of those teams that sometimes is on and sometimes is off. And so we benefited from that. Had it been a different team like Columbus that's coming up, we
Yeah.
may have not been able to recover. But we held on and scored a couple goals, and thankfully, um, we were able to come back. A lot of players scored. Rojas was on fire. Jordi Alba, man, that dude is just incredible. Like Tata says, Alba is like number 10 playing on the wing, and that's basically what happened.
Mike V says you're jinxing the team by talking about Columbus and all that. Yeah, I mean, it was an exciting game. But for me, at least, all the drama surrounding the Leagues Cup overshadowed the actual game. But it was an exciting game. It was like, biting your nails kind of game, So it was definitely fun. They move on to Columbus, a much tougher opponent. But again, another MLS versus MLS game. Uh-oh, we lost Ed. Hopefully he'll call back. In the... So it looks like he just muted himself. He's still in there. So he'll unmute himself. Maybe he'll figure it out. Maybe he won't. While we wait for Uncle Ed, why don't we go to a couple of voicemails? Oh, looks like Ed's back. Let's go to a couple voicemails and see what the people want to talk about. It's time for your voicemails.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Peter Brown and Uncle Ed. Greetings from Chicago. Just want to say I like to listen to your podcast every weekend. So first I want to say good luck this Tuesday against the Columbus Crew. As a Chicago fan, don't like Columbus, so wish you luck. And I've got not a question, but last week you guys were talking about season tickets for Inter Miami, and I mentioned something about our season tickets in Chicago. So I used to be a season ticket since 2009 to 2020, and our season tickets, if we were not going to a game, you had 24 hours to exchange for another game if you cannot make it to that game. And if you were not going to a future games, you can change those future tickets, like you change it to another games, like recent games. So at that time I used to take 3D future tickets and change it to like more recent game. So Chicago Fire, they used to do that since 2009 to 2020, and I think still do it. There's nothing to do with the team is doing bad right now. And our attendance right now in Soldier Field is not good, but what I heard is like 20,000 people per game. But with this, our front office and our fans not happy about our team. So I just wanted to put that because you guys were talking last week. And Mr. Peter Brown, I know you've ever been to a Chicago game or to a Chicago Fire, but I recommend you maybe in the future, you're gonna like Chicago. There's a lot of stuff to eat and food and all that stuff. But when I heard that you like ice cream, if you ever go to a Chicago Fire game, and you need to try the ice cream nachos. They're very good.
Oh.
So, and Uncle Ed, I used to listen to you on your show on Mondays, but I cannot find it no more. I don't know what happened. I used to opened it and you were there, and I don't know what happened, but I listened to you. I used to listen to you on the Mondays. So anyway, hope you guys have a nice rest of your Sunday, and take care. And I'll be listening to you later on. Take care.
He's looking for you, Ed. He's looking for you.
Calling me out right there. Yes, unfortunately, there's been a lot of things happening right now in my local, my family front. But hopefully, we'll get that settled so that we can redo the show. As a matter of fact, I just got informed by my son-in-law that he has a contact, this incredibly famous Ecuadorian player that we're going to be able to interview in Spanish. So that's going to come up soon. But first, I want to, we'll start doing the show again in Spanish. We're going to try to do it tomorrow night. It's going to be a little rough on the edges because I still have some stuff in storage. So, we might not be able to do it at the Futbol Miami TV Cafe with Doña Use Messi. But we'll definitely going to try to have it tomorrow at 8:30-ish. So, it might be a little choppy, a little weird, but we're going to make it happen.
All right. Yeah. And he mentioned this ticket scenario with Chicago. We don't have anything like that. We don't have a scenario where if we can't make it to a game, we could just exchange it for a different game or something like that. We do not have that option. So that sounds like a good thing over in Chicago. We don't have that. And I have not been to Chicago. We were almost going to go to Chicago because my wife's company that she works for is out of Chicago, and they were going to have her come into the office or whatever, and they were going to pay for the travel. And I was probably just going to go with her because she didn't feel comfortable going there by herself, and I would just work from the hotel, But good stuff. All right, we got another one here. Oh, it's a double. This person had a lot to say.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and all the great fans. It's Italia, One World, One Goal. Just wanted to give a shout out to Senor Mas. He's really doing a pretty good job. I know this is a little off topic, but getting the governor down and being able to allocate $8 million in a grant for building the roadways. It goes directly to Miami-Dade County, does not go to the team. And this is monies that actually were allocated from federal to each state to do roadworks and improvements. And they put some of the money to building the new bridge that goes over to the cruise ships. And now they're taking, $8 million to help build out the roadways to the stadium, which watch Peter's construction videos, everybody. So I just want to give a shout out. Of course, even the governor wanted to meet Messi. So I think we're getting great PR. You saw the Estefans were there again, and El Gordo y La Flaca, Lily Estefan, and the niece was there taking pictures and videos. But I think that there is a little, disconnect. Hopefully when we get the new stadium, I love the new jerseys that they created, which was sort of Dolphin-esque in case we ever play at the old Joe Rowley Hard Rock. And I know they've had a lot of their plans derailed because, Messi's been out like 16 games, which is half the season. So shout out to Chris Henderson for putting together enough depth to keep us in the running. It is pretty unrealistic to think he can win the Copa America and an MLS Cup in the same year. I mean, if he can do it, awesome. But, depending on one player for marketing and for play on the pitch, as you know, will really backfire. So would love to see once we get at the new stadium, maybe we can do a fusion throwback colors there. And I saw a couple schemes online that were really cool, Peter, with white, and it had like the uniform that was white with the blue and the yellow vertical stripe was really, really cool. So anyway, there's a lot you can do. Hopefully we do a little more outreach with the charity, and hopefully finally honor our 2001 Supporter Shield team, maybe when the new stadium opens too, because they're going to need a lot of press. Once Messi retires, he's going to be like Beckham. He shows up every once in a while. And, it's like Michael Jordan at the NASCAR. He shows up, people say hi, take a picture. He's an owner over there. Shout out to LeBron James for the gold medal and all the great Olympians, especially to the basketball. Men's basketball was exciting. So again, we need that level of excitement when we open the new stadium. I know people were boycotting because of the U.S. Open Cup, which I love, and because of this whole snafu with ticket prices and, you know, last minute ticketing. These are all the new glitches. I miss the old days when you just...
Oh, cut off.
Here, she's got a little more.
I think I either ran out of time or hit the button. Anyway, love you guys, love the show, and I think once we regroup and open a new stadium, all these crazy growing pains will be forgotten by then. I hope they will have figured out how to do ticketing better and keep some of the price points available for the regular, ordinary fans to be able to attend the games. They can still have their beautiful corporate sellout skybox area down the one side, and let's leave the end zone for the fans at decent prices. Okay, love you guys, love the show.
All right, there was a lot there. I got lost a couple times. But on her last comment, because it kind of goes towards what we were saying, look, I love, and this may hurt us ever really getting any kind of relationship with him, but I doubt it's going to happen anyways. I love Jorge Mas for getting us the team and doing what he's done, bringing Messi and all the things that he's done. But he's also a businessman, and he's okay with fleecing the fans. He has no problem with that. Prices go up. They're not coming down. The new stadium, you think the prices are high at Chase Stadium. Wait till you see them at the new stadium. They're going to be even higher. They're not. They are going to price out your lower level fans, and you're going to end up what I saw some people doing. Yeah, we can go long, battered herons, if I need to talk about D23. That threw me off. He's going to fleece the fans regardless. I did see some people saying they weren't going to renew their season tickets because they could get them cheaper on the aftermarket. You know, because if Messi's not playing, you're getting him for $4, right? So There's that. The other thing she said, which was kind of funny, we got $8 million. The city of Miami got $8 million, but it was Jorge Mas up there with the governor and Messi, not the city mayor like you would think it would be. But the city gets $8 million. So if you watched our last construction update, as I was walking down the streets, I was talking about that. I was questioning if those streets could handle the crowds from the stadium and all that kind of stuff, and the hotels and all the stuff. And well, apparently they cannot, and they're going to give them some money to the county or the city, whatever it is, and they can fix some roads.
Peter was walking down the streets with no name. There you go. Reference to a song there, you too, where the streets have no name.
Yeah. You threw me there for a second. I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, what the hell is he talking about?
I'm not a U2 fan, but
oh yeah.
But they're all about marketing to one player, and if when Messi's done, there better be another. There better be another big name player. There may not be another Messi at all, but Who
do you think is coming, Peter? I think it's going to be Neymar. He's probably going to be the guy replacing Messi.
Yeah, maybe that'd be good, but it still would not be, to the level that we're talking about. But
there's nothing that's going to be at Messi's level for a while. I think after that, man, it's going to be a while before we get somebody that big.
Let's battered herons. They think Neymar is coming. Maybe we'll see.
I'm telling you.
Look.
My
after
sources,
the Mas
got a friend that says that all the time. My sources tell me that Neymar is coming.
Look, I've gotten to the point where two things. One, I don't doubt the Mas family that they can make things happen, but I also don't get overly excited and trust in rumors, because there have been so many rumors and so many people that are in the know that have sources that are wrong. So, and I'm not saying that it's the case with battered herons or you, Ed, or anybody else, but I'm just skeptical until it really happens. We'll see. That's my opinion. It'll be great. We'll see if it happens. So before we've got there's a topic that I saw in the chat, and I was actually prepared to talk about that tonight. Changing the subject completely away from Inter Miami, not Disney yet. the show might have to go a little bit long because I could talk about Disney quick, but before doing that, I want to give a little love to Fort Lauderdale United. Fort Lauderdale United is the women's professional U.S. Super League, USL Super League, new professional women's soccer team that starts next week. They start playing games next week. Their first game, where did I put it? I have too many tabs open. Their first game is against, it's Saturday, August 17th in Spokane. They're playing the Spokane Zephyr FC. And this is their home kit. We were talking about, One World, One Goal mentioned some of my commentary about the Miami Fusion shirts never being that fancy. They're fine. They're mostly just blue. Well, that's what this is. This is just a blue shirt. But it's okay, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, Peter. There's also mentioned that there's probably that MLS is going to start their
Well,
league.
hang on there, Ed. Let's get there in a minute. Let's hang on. Don't jump the gun.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. We still have another jersey to talk about. This is their away kit. First, we have a women's professional league, and they're going to be playing at Nova Southeastern. I like their away kits better because I like the aqua colored shorts. I think that's pretty sharp looking. So I prefer that. I definitely want to go and check out some games. I don't think I'll be at every game. And you know what stinks is their first game of the season. It's in September. It's on a Sunday night. I don't know. I might have to just not do the show on that night because I kind of want to go to their first game.
Maybe we do a live show from there.
Yeah, we potentially. Kata is saying, wish that blue was for the whole kit. Well, oh, you mean the aqua? Yeah. They have their training jersey. They have a training jersey that's at aqua blue. That's the entire thing. Tank feels like why Nike? They're awful at making jerseys and just a bad brand in general. Well, people complain about Adidas all the time, so it's you can never make everybody happy. A new Weissman thinks that looks like a Chelsea kit. Their shorts are fire. So we have a women's professional league already here, brand new. They're Division 1, just like the NWSL. Here, oh yeah, Mr. Crab says, I wished we had an NWSL team, but this is better than nothing. They're both Division 1. And so we'll see how USL Super League presents themselves. I know that the games are going to be televised. I forgot to check where, but I know they're going to be televised. So, that's good. So go out and support our local team. But Ed, you were right that there is now a talk about a new MLS-owned women's professional league.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
It was reported, and I don't know how reputable this website is, but it's Scarves and Spikes. That looks like they could be, I don't know if they're an Atlanta-based, it looks like they're an Atlanta-based website, so I don't know if it's reputable. A new Weissman maybe knows. Oh, okay. A new first off is letting me know where Super League is going to be. So I'm going to be on Paramount Plus. Good. I got that. So this is in Scarves and Spikes. I don't know how reputable they are, but they say that MLS is targeting a 2027 launch for a women's professional league, which seems odd. Do you think it seems odd, Ed? Because MLS has had a very symbiotic relationship with the NWSL. So many of they have several people that MLS owners. There's 2 or 3 MLS owners that are NWSL owners and or have been in the past as well. So to me it seems odd. What do you think about MLS doing it?
Peter, I think what's going to happen is NWSL will probably join MLS. That's just my prediction right here, just because a couple of owners are MLS owners. And lately, USL and MLS used to be buddies, man. But
Well,
nowadays, it seems like they're, starting to compete. They got rid of NASL back in the day, and now there's more competition. And I think, you know, Beckham said that they were looking to have a team, a women's team in South Florida. It might develop. It might happen. They might play at the current Chase Stadium, while the Miami team moves back down to Miami. So, uh, now there's a stadium that's probably going to be occupied, and I think that's probably what might happen. Just Uncle Ed's predictions might not happen. I'm just, I see it in the stars, man.
yeah, I mean, I don't think out of the gate you'll see MLS buying NWSL. I don't think that happens, or merging. You never know. It could happen somewhere down the line. But I don't think one thing you learn about MLS, and this is what Francisco is saying, and I kind of agree with his comment. MLS wants all the pie, not just a piece. So they don't play well with others. There's that you mentioned they had a relationship with USL. They did until they didn't, right? And then they became enemies. And MLS has been accused of trying to put the NASL out of business. Even there's a lawsuit still outstanding. So it's surprising. Maybe I just found it. So MLS cries that they're poor. They say that they don't make money. Majority of the teams lose money. That's what they say, which is hard to believe. But, and I know in the early years for sure. But at this point, I feel like they got to be at that point where they're turning profits. But, all right. We'll wrap this up in just a second and talk Disney. I see chats. Yeah. Anyways, every time somebody chats something about Disney, it throws me off.
It does. Disney is like your kryptonite. So guys,
because also that's where my mind
Disney
was.
to Peter Brown.
Disney needs to buy MLS.
There you go.
All right. Well, last 10. Did you have any other thoughts on the women's league?
Well, that's just my prediction on the women's league. I think MLS wants to own everything. They just don't. They don't play along great with anybody anymore. It's just me.
Okay. Now I remember where I was going with my rant. Thank you. MLS cries poor all the time. The way they make their money, it seems, is expansion fees. Maybe that's why you create a women's league, because you could get the expansion fees. You start up a league, piggybacking off the infrastructure that MLS already has. So you don't have to, there's probably some, front offices that can share and things like that. So there's some duplication there. So they can work well together, and then they can keep making money and build a 30-team league. And of course, they may not get the expansion fees that you get in MLS, but also that league probably will not cost as much money to run as it does MLS, because just women are not as expensive players as the men are. Not yet. Maybe someday, but not yet.
It's still a flow of money
Right.
into the leagues.
Right.
So, any money is better than no money. And, that's why MLS has been so successful. We could say, they're not making money, but they're making money.
I think so. Well, anyways, it'll be interesting to see. It's still a long ways away. 2027 is when they want to go. Like somebody was mentioning in the chat. Yeah, piggyback up off World Cup. So, we'll see. In the short term, you've got a team in Fort Lauderdale to go visit. Last 10 minutes of the show, so if you don't want to talk about Disney, you're only here for soccer, get out of here. But, I figured the segue here.
Hold on, Peter. Before we go into what was our old show called?
The Nerd Show.
Yeah, we did that for a little bit, guys. But just wanted to remind you guys, if you like our content and stuff, you can support us. Uh, Peter's got to put the thing down in the bottom. But there you go. You support us on Patreon, guys. We try to do what we can. Sometimes we're here. See, sometimes I'm in my car doing the show, but Peter's got like, this huge display. He's got like 5, 6, screens in front of him right now. So, we're doing what we can, supporting soccer. The Chicago guy talked about going to other cities. We want to do that. So your support will help us to do with that, which was our project to do. But Messi showed up and ruined all of that for us because we planned on traveling. But we still want to do it. So your help, we appreciate. So there we go. And I'm going to do the Spanish show tomorrow.
All right.
Might just be me, but I'll do it.
So people sometimes, kind of think of MLS as this kind of evil empire, right? So, cash grab, evil empire. So let's go
Like
from
Disney.
Thanks for ruining my segue, Ed. So from one evil empire to another, because a lot of people consider Disney to be that said evil empire as well. They're in the middle of, there's still, I think today's still going on, the last day for D23. D23 is held every 2 years. It's in Anaheim. This is their big Comic Con for Disney. So and look, there's several panel shows, and normally the panels are in the convention center. Very hard to get a ticket and to get into the panel show. It's hard to get a ticket for the event. I'm a D23 member, which means I'm part of the fan club, and I pay for that. And even with that, I get early access to buy tickets for D23, and even that I couldn't get them because they sell out too quick. I wasn't really going to go, but I was just curious, could I get them if I wanted? And it was sold out so fast. But so one day they decided to move their panels into the Honda Center, which is a massive sports arena. It's in Anaheim, so what? It has to be where the hockey team plays, I guess. Are you out of here, Ed?
No, it's just there's a lot of noise in the background, so I have to mute it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So they moved it to the Honda thing, and they did have on Friday night. They had the movie stuff, and that's fine. I'm into that. But really, D23 is all about the parks panel. The parks panel is the moneymaker. That's where all the spectacle is. And I was able to watch the show on somebody's streaming, because Disney decided to not stream it for whatever reason. But some people with their phones did it, and so I got to watch it. So lots of big. This is where they show what they're going to build at Disney. So the one caveat is the last time they did this, they came up with these ideas, and they're like, "This is what we're thinking about doing. We're just playing around. These are things we might do, we might not do." They sounded cool, but nobody knew if they would actually happen. And this time they started off by saying, "This is all going to happen. It is not what they call blue sky. Blue sky is when they're dreaming. It's not blue sky. It's shovels in the ground. This is all going to happen." Take that with a grain of salt, because Disney has greenlit projects before, and they just do not happen. But real quick, because I know we don't have a ton of time, in Florida, what we're getting, this is the big stuff. We're getting a new nighttime parade. We haven't had a nighttime parade in like 5-6 years, something like that. Before COVID, they stopped it. So that's going to be really cool. They're gonna they gave more details. They're closing Dino Land in Animal Kingdom. You know all this stuff, Ed, right?
Oh yeah.
Not
of course,
really.
Peter Brown.
They're closing Dino Land, and this is one of the blue sky things they talked about 2 years, but they went in a little more detail, where they're going to turn the Dino ride into an Indiana Jones ride with a original storyline, which is good. I don't have a problem if you have the same ride in multiple parks, which like what they did with Star Wars Land. They just duplicated the exact same thing in 2 different parks. It's okay, but I prefer there to be some sort of differences. So the Indiana Jones ride, it's going to be its own story. And then they're going to have an Encanto ride, an Encanto ride, so that's going to be cool there as well. So Battered Herons is also helping me out here, saying Encanto. Yeah. So
Don't you worry, Battered Herons. I mean, Peter knows all these things, man. He's the Disney nerd. He's more of a Disney nerd than a soccer nerd, believe it or not.
Here's the thing too, and Battered Herons, Disney nut. He and I ran into each other in Disney. Is saying they are feeling the pressure of the new Universal Studios park, Epic Universe, and Disney tries to say they're not. Disney says, we've known about this for 10 years. We don't care. Yeah, baloney. Because they're not building a fifth park, but they are expanding each of their parks. This is the biggest expansion the Magic Kingdom has ever seen. I was just talking about Animal Kingdom, but Magic Kingdom is also going to get beyond Big Thunder Mountain. So behind Big Thunder Mountain, you know that ride, Ed, where it's a mine train that, First, they're going to enhance that. They didn't talk about this, but they're going to enhance that. There's going to be a new explosion effect that they have in Disneyland that they're going to bring here. They're going to redo the track and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be closed for about a year. But behind that, they're building a Cars ride. There's a very cool Cars ride in California. We're going to get something similar, but with a different off-roading theme. Question you have to ask yourself, Disney fans, which I don't know how many besides me and Battered Herons, but the Disney fans, what do Cars have to do with Frontierland? So Frontierland, it's all about stagecoaches, mine trains, cowboys, talking cars.
They didn't have space anywhere else, Peter Brown. I think that's what it is, and maybe they should start changing Frontierland. Because if you tell me that's the most boring part of that park, so it's I'm just not into cowboys, man.
Frontierland, and you do have a point there, because I think the young audiences today did not grow up playing cowboys and Indians and cowboys and robbers like I used to do, as a kid. They just don't do that anymore. So. There's that, but so now I wonder eventually if Frontierland changes its name to something a little bit more like America Land of some sort, because now you've got the Haunted Mansion, which is a colonial kind of northeast, and then Liberty Square. Then that blends right into Frontierland, which then will eventually blend into this Cars area, which is kind of like your desert area. So the looks of the thing might blend with, but the concept doesn't really blend. But we'll see. Also to do that. Oh, okay. Let's next to that, which is what got the biggest applause, is Villains Land, which would be behind Haunted Mansion, but also kind of butting up against Cars Land. So
that's a transition into the Frontierland or whatever.
Yeah. That got the biggest pop. People seem to really care about that. I've always wondered, I don't know if a villains themed land makes sense in the Magic Kingdom, which is all about princesses and happy thoughts. Maybe it makes more sense in some place like Hollywood Studios, but that's not what they're doing. Well, anyways, also they're saying that Cars Land. No, that was I'm getting mixed up. The Dino Land thing is going to be done by 2027, so that's going to be done very quickly. But the negative is that it sounds like some of Tom Sawyer Island, all of Tom Sawyer Island, may be going away, and they're potentially going to chop off a piece of Rivers of America to give some land there, and which could mean that the Liberty Bell. Liberty Bell, right? May not sail the seas anymore. So
yeah. Well, Peter, it's incredible to see how excited you get, with anything Disney, man. I haven't seen you this excited since they announced Inter Miami. So that's something.
And I haven't mentioned everything in either. But Kata is saying, I'm surprised with how passionate you are for Disney. You don't make reaction talk, vlogs, channels, Peter. Oh, so you're surprised I'm not doing a Disney Channel type thing? I've thought about it, but I need a partner in that. And Battered Herons was talking about maybe, but he's busy. He's busy doing all of his 50,000 other podcasts.
That's one thing that's that drives me crazy.
I don't know how he has time.
Battered Herons do that.
I don't know how
he has time. The guy doesn't have a life.
I don't know how he has
Is he
time
married?
to do. He does like 50 different podcasts. I don't know how he has time for that stuff.
Yeah, my wife barely lets me do this one, and the
Yeah.
Spanish when she gets on my nerve, I love you, honey, but she's not 100% behind me sometimes. So
Yeah. Well, there's more stuff coming to Disney, the Monsters Inc. ride and all that kind of stuff. Somebody in Disneyland, they're actually going to make a animatronic of Walt Disney. A Walt Disney animatronic, Ed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be nuts. That's going to be crazy. And people are talking about the Spanish show. Yes, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I might do it by myself if Marco can't do it, because he's been doing stuff too. So, just I know it drives Peter crazy when I start, getting into his Disney stuff. So go on, Peter. I see that.
Look, I'm not going to drag this out. We try to wrap this show up. I could talk about my thoughts and opinions and stuff like that on, Disney for the next several hours. Here, bad Daniel from Pattern Herons. 50,000 pods and a third baby coming in the next few days. Yeah.
How's he do it?
I don't know.
He's got time to have babies. That's nuts. How do you do it, man? I don't have enough time, dude. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, hey, look, one of the reasons, I know people for a long time have talked about having us do a collab with the Pattern Herons. Like, I've been on their show. We've never had them on our show. And one of the reasons I haven't asked them is because I remember talking to Danny and Epcot and I think he said something about he does his podcast Monday through Friday and he keeps the weekend for the family. So I don't want to bother him on the weekend, but he's in here. So,
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to.
Let's get him on the show. I want to find out his secret, Peter. I want to find out his secret, how he gets to do all these things. It's to remain married and have babies.
Yeah. So we can have him on. We can talk. I'll hit him up. I'll hit you up, and we can talk Inter Miami at some and Disney and whatever else we feel like. But whenever he has time, because that's good. It sounds like it's a challenge. But he's here. He's in the chat. So, anyways. Yeah, see, this is why I haven't asked him. I try to stay podcast free on weekends unless it's a post game. Yeah, so that's why I haven't asked him to come on our Sunday show out of respect for not messing up his podcast free on the weekends rule. But he can make an exception for us. All right, so I'll reach out and we'll make that happen sometime soon. But it'll be fun. All right. We got to end this eventually. I'll talk Disney for the rest of the night, whatever. I'm telling you, I was on Twitter all day reading all the comments and thoughts about the parks and this and that. And so, anyways, Ed, we're doing a show tomorrow.
By golly, Peter, as soon as I get out of work, I'm heading home and I'm going to attempt to do a show in Espanol. So don't forget to go to Futbol Miami TV ES. Doña Yus Messi will probably not make an appearance yet, or I won't be at her shop, but we will do what we can and talk Futbol Miami TV, Inter Miami, and whatever you guys want to talk about en español. Mañana.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. This was a lot of fun, and all the Disney talk got my heart rate going a little bit. So thanks everybody for watching. You guys in the chat make the show what it is. So thank you for being here with us every Sunday night. We will see you next Sunday. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. See ya.